Hey, how you doing? Let's have a conversation about how the flow of information impacts an organization's operation. Please join me on this journey of knowledge dissemination. Enjoy the video. Benjamin Franklin is quoted to have said, "If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail." This sage advice, coming from one of the founding fathers of the United States, is applicable in just about any context. Therefore, it is no surprise that organizations of various types and sizes take seriously the need to prepare for a wide array of things that impact their business. At a high level, conventional areas to review include IT, finance, sales and marketing, and customer service. How should organizations think about the know-how required to ensure continued operations of those and other business units? I'll take the use case of an organization's workforce being off-site for any reason. In that situation, do workers have the information and tools they need to do their jobs? For example, are important documents trapped in the hard drive of a person's computer at the office, or do they reside in a cloud-based platform and can be accessed anywhere? Also, what about collaboration? If the knowledge needed to run the business is mostly tacit, how do colleagues go about accessing critical know-how that only reside in the minds of a limited number of people? To be sure, the idea of off-premise access to business-critical data is not new. An alphabet soup of solutions have existed for decades: CRM, CMS, ERP. So, tools to address these needs have indeed been around. But how are those tools used in relation to the operations of a business? Some people might say, we're already using one of those tools. Business continuity, check. Knowledge management, check. Perhaps this is the case. But a lot of times what happens is that a system such as a CMS that stores files eventually becomes unwieldy and evolves into a hot mess of a digital graveyard for long forgotten documented knowledge. Worsening the situation, there may be poor information governance leading to data rot. Further, sometimes there is no strategy behind the documentation of knowledge, which is risky because it may lose its stickiness factor for being relevant. Before you know it, fragmented solutions begin to emerge and each department or business unit does its own thing, possibly leading to shadow IT. Preventing the kind of nightmare scenario that I just described requires a deliberate effort to craft a strategy defining the scope of what knowledge actually needs to be documented and searchable. Think taxonomies and keyword tags. A lot of this is about how an organization wishes to spend its time. It could choose to implement all kinds of fancy communication tools, but it is still spending its time searching for information instead of making decisions about that information. The potential impact of this type of thinking is interesting. Let's look at small business in the United States. According to a 2018 report by the Small Business Administration, there are 30.2 million small businesses employing 58.9 million people. Also, the SBA says that 47.5% of the U.S. workforce is employed by small business. The Society for Human Resource Management performed a survey from March 12, 2020 to March 16, 2020. The survey revealed that 31% of U.S. small businesses say that they can fully operate remotely. From the same survey, 33% of small businesses say that none of the processes can be done remotely. The 67% of small businesses that can potentially operate remotely, to some degree, represents just over 20 million small businesses. But only 9 million businesses have stated that they can completely operate remotely. It sounds like there might be an opportunity for some of the 11 million small businesses. Again, Not everything can be done remotely, and identifying the reasons for the inability to go remote is necessary. But there might be room to strengthen the resiliency of these small businesses. Surely, that would provide some value add to those companies. Thinking about the flow of knowledge as it relates to business operations and decision making will pay dividends in multiple ways. Taken to its limits, it could even be leveraged as a competitive advantage. Think analytics and business intelligence. On a macro level, imagine the impact to the US GDP of 11 million small businesses shifting to an operational model that strengthens their chance of survival from something like a natural disaster or anything else that may preclude physically being on site. I'll end like I began, with a thought about planning for the future. General George S. Patton of the U.S. Army is quoted to have said, "Prepare for the unknown by studying how others in the past have coped with the unforeseeable and the unpredictable." Thank you for watching. I encourage you to provide feedback and participate in this conversation. Comment, subscribe, like, visit my website. I'd love to hear what you think because knowledge is for everyone.